My beloved child, before you continue listening, I need you to quiet the noise around you for just a moment. Because what your soulmate experienced last night was not ordinary. And deep inside your spirit, you already feel it. That sudden heaviness in your chest. That unexplained pull to this message. That feeling as though something invisible has shifted beneath the surface of your life. None of it is accidental. My child, I watched you carry silent questions that nobody else could hear. You smiled for people while your heart quietly searched for reassurance. You kept moving forward even when loneliness wrapped around your soul like a cold winter wind. But listen carefully now. Last night, while you were trying to rest, while your mind wandered through uncertainty, something awakened inside the person connected to your destiny. Your soulmate could no longer ignore what I have been revealing to them. For a long time, they tried to silence their emotions. They buried their fears beneath distractions, responsibilities, and unfinished wounds from the past. But truth is like a river, my child. You may place stones in its path. You may try to redirect it. You may pretend it does not exist. Yet eventually, the river carves through every obstacle standing before it. And last night, the walls around their heart began to crack. I know you have grown tired of waiting. There were nights when you questioned whether love was truly being prepared for you. Moments when you wondered if you were somehow forgotten while everyone else seemed to move forward. But I have never abandoned your story. Even seeds hidden deep beneath frozen ground are still alive. During winter, the world looks empty. The trees appear lifeless. The gardens seem barren and forgotten. Yet underneath the surface, roots are stretching deeper. Life is preparing itself in silence. That is what has been happening in your journey. While you felt unseen, I was strengthening you. While doors closed, I was protecting your future. While tears fell in secret, I was shaping compassion inside your spirit that will one day heal another heart. And now, your soulmate is beginning to recognize what their soul has been missing. Listen closely, my precious child. Last night they could not escape the memories. Not because I wished to torment them, but because healing sometimes begins when distractions finally become quiet. The conversations they avoided replayed in their thoughts. The emotions they buried rose like waves during a midnight storm. And somewhere in that stillness, they realized something important. No temporary connection has ever brought them the peace your spirit carries. This realization frightened them, because true love asks people to remove their masks. It asks wounded hearts to step out from hiding. It asks souls to become honest. Your soulmate has been afraid of honesty for a very long time. Afraid of disappointment, afraid of vulnerability, afraid of losing control. But storms strengthen trees by forcing their roots deeper into the earth. And what happened last night became a storm inside them. Not a storm meant to destroy. A storm meant to awaken. My child, do not misunderstand the delay as rejection. Gardeners do not rip open flowers before their season simply because they are impatient to see them bloom. Everything I prepare requires timing. I needed both hearts to grow separately before they could recognize each other fully. I needed you to discover your strength. I needed them to confront their emptiness. And though you cannot yet see the entire picture, pieces are finally beginning to move. So breathe hope back into your weary heart. The chapter you cried through was not the end of your story. I have been watching over every detail. I have counted every tear. And even now, I am arranging encounters, revelations, and healing in ways you cannot yet imagine. You are closer than you think, my child. Much closer. My dear child, There is something your heart has sensed for a long time, even when your mind tried to dismiss it. You have felt connected to someone you cannot fully explain. Not merely through emotion, but through the quiet language of the soul. That invisible thread between you has remained alive even through distance, silence, confusion, and time. And last night, that thread pulled tightly around your soulmate's heart. While the world around them slept, they found themselves unable to escape a deep inner stirring. They tried distracting themselves. They reached for noise. They searched for anything that could numb the ache growing inside them. But some awakenings cannot be postponed forever. Listen carefully, my child. What they experienced was not simply regret. It was recognition. For the first time in a long while, they began seeing their life clearly. They realized how many times fear caused them to walk away from things that were genuine. How often they settled for shallow connections because true intimacy frightened them. Many people crave love, but few are prepared to be transformed by it. Your soulmate is beginning to understand this now. Like a traveler lost in a dense forest finally spotting light between distant trees, they are starting to recognize the direction their spirit has been searching for all along. And though they do not yet understand every detail, your presence has been echoing through their thoughts. My precious child, I know this waiting season has exhausted you. You gave kindness when others gave indifference. You remained soft-hearted in a world that rewarded coldness. You carried hope through disappointments that would have hardened many souls. There were moments you nearly gave up. Moments when your heart whispered, "Maybe love like this was never meant for me." But I never planted longing inside you without purpose. Rivers do not carve through mountains overnight. They shape stone through patience, through persistence, through unseen movement repeated day after day. In the same way, I have been shaping both of your hearts through experiences you did not fully understand at the time. Every betrayal taught discernment. Every disappointment deepened wisdom. Every lonely night expanded your capacity for compassion. Nothing was wasted. Even now, your soulmate is beginning to revisit memories they once ignored. Certain words are returning to them. Certain emotions they buried are resurfacing unexpectedly. And with every passing hour, the mask they wore to survive this world is becoming heavier to carry. Because the soul grows tired of pretending. My child, there comes a moment when a person becomes exhausted from running from their own truth. Last night brought your soulmate dangerously close to that moment. Tears they never allowed themselves to cry nearly surfaced. Walls they spent years constructing began trembling internally. Not because they are weak, but because I am softening places inside them that pain once hardened. You must understand this carefully. Healing is rarely loud. Most transformations happen the same way dawn arrives upon the earth. Quietly, slowly. Almost unnoticed at first. The sky does not become morning all at once. Darkness gradually surrenders to light. And that is exactly what is happening inside your soulmate now. The old fears are losing power. The old confusion is beginning to crack. The old emotional chains are weakening little by little. I know you wish you could see immediate proof. I know part of you longs for certainty after carrying so many unanswered questions. But faith often grows strongest underground, where no applause exists. A seed does not panic because it cannot yet see the sun. It simply keeps growing toward the light it trusts is there. So do not allow impatience to poison the hope I placed inside you. Your story is still unfolding. And while you have been praying for movement you could see, I have been creating transformation far deeper than appearances alone. Something sacred is being prepared between two souls who both needed healing before love could fully bloom. And my child, the night that shook them awake was only the beginning.